Welcome. It's Megan over at the Math Workshop here with another video. We're so excited for this one, our top 5 teacher tips for math class. Number 1. Who are my Hamilton fans out there? In the words of Aaron Burr, played by Leslie Odom, talk less. I want to add on to that. Listen more. Such a good one. Here's another quote from Michelle Kimball. Students need to talk in class because the one doing the talking is the one doing the learning. Old school days where the teacher sat in the front of the room and was the sage on the stage. Those days are over. Through the use of facilitation tools like talk moves, new school days are in, where the teacher is the guide on the side. Here's a clue for number 2. I'm showing my age with this one. Do you remember Bonnie Raitt and Something to Talk About? Number 2, give them something to talk about. The second teacher tip for facilitating a math class builds on giving students the opportunity to talk. We have to give them something interesting to talk about. For example, with our first problem, 25 plus 25 equals 50. Well, maybe kids have a little bit to talk about. Maybe they could share that, well, they knew their doubles. 25 and 25 are doubles. Maybe they knew quarters, and so 2 quarters, 50 cents. Maybe they added their tens and their ones, so 20 and 20 is 40, and 5 and 5 is 10. Maybe they counted on. That's not really so efficient. That I probably would make mistakes myself if I counted on from 25, counting on 25 more. But okay, there's a little bit to talk about. But look at this next problem. I have 50 cents in my pocket. What are all the possible coin combinations I could have? Isn't that one so much richer? Now I can spend some time on that one. Afterwards, I could share all of my solutions with a partner and see if he or she has some solutions that I don't have, or vice versa. We could think about how to prove that we found all the possible combinations. That's something to talk about. I love this quote from Harry Wong. The person who does the work is the only one who learns. I can still see a video that I saw of Harry Wong talking in a presentation, and it has been a very long time, but I can still see it in my head. And Harry is saying, you teachers, you are so tired every day. You know why? Because you are doing all the work. You've already been to second grade. Stop. So perhaps the key is to provide opportunities for our students to engage with meaningful, interesting, challenging work so that they are the ones who are exhausted at the end of the day. Giving kids something to talk about. So there's a lot of curriculum out there. No matter what your curriculum that you choose to use or you're directed to use in your district or at your school, be a discerning consumer and choose the interesting problems from your curriculum. You know the ones that have a low floor where all students can enter them, but a high ceiling where they can really take it to high levels, like that coin combination problem. Pick and choose problems that your students can really get into and have productive and interesting, engaging discussions about. Sometimes in the curriculum, it might be called tasks. It might be under the label of problem solving, or it might be under a heading saying challenging or rigorous, or critical thinking, or maybe it's in an area called explore. Maybe it's the word problems. Maybe it's the open-ended problems. But be really discerning and find those problems that are interesting and gives kids something to talk about. Number 3, tools, tools, and still more tools. Manipulatives, math tools, multiple representations. We're talking about things like number paths, number lines, open number lines, 10 frames, 100 chart, arrays, area model, grid paper, individual whiteboards and dry erase pens, all sorts of different kinds of materials with shapes and geometry and solids. Unifix cubes, interlocking cubes, measuring tools, base 10 blocks, fraction models, decimal models, integer models, and there's more. Today's math standards call for students to deeply understand the math concepts at their grade level. Tools can bring abstract math ideas into focus. Math tools can level the playing field for all of us, offering visual and hands-on kinesthetic approach to grasping abstract mathematical concepts. Number 4, leave space on the board for recording student thinking. This one comes from our fellow educators in Japan. When participating in lesson studies in Japan, American educators saw a key difference between how Japanese educators facilitate a math class and how we do typically in the United States. They leave their blackboard or whiteboard at the front of the room completely blank at the beginning of math class, so that a record of the learning over the next period can be captured. They don't erase during the class, so that the progression of learning can be seen at a glance. Oh, how many times did I cover up my own large whiteboard with cute posters or inspiring quotes or our schedule? Most of the time, and most of that board was covered. So the small space left for recording student strategies or thinking got erased over and over during a class period because I didn't have enough space. Did I expect my students to remember what was documented on the board at the beginning of class 45 minutes ago? Now I recognize the beauty of having a blank canvas at the beginning of class. Now it makes so much sense to me. I can put my day schedule somewhere else, maybe up on the closet or somewhere else that's not a writing surface. Number 5, arrange physical space for optimal learning experience. This one is very personal. What works best for you, for your age of students, for your physical space, and of course, your budget? For me, I know when I'm working with K through 6 students, oh, I'm in my happy place if there's a large rug for us to convene on occasionally as a community of mathematicians, especially at the beginning of math class when we're going to engage in a math routine like number talks, or maybe tell me all you can, or which doesn't belong. Then, after the class has been given a rich task to tackle, I want students to find a place to work in the room that works best for them so they can be productive. I don't need a large desk taking up a lot of precious space. What I do need is a stool. I love a stool. I like to be comfortable as I'm facilitating the student sharing and reflection part of math class. I also need open shelves that are easily accessible to students so they can grab the math tool that helps them make sense of the problem they're working on. Additionally, I am as happy as a clam if there's some wall space for displaying that number path in kindergarten or the 100 chart in second grade, as well as those anchor charts that are really going to be a great resource for students. Here are some interesting ways that teachers have organized their spaces. So, to recap, number one, talk less. Two, give them something to talk about. Find the interesting mathematics in your curriculum. Number three, tools, and still more tools. All those wonderful representations, those manipulatives, those things that help us make sense of math, help us represent our thinking and share with one another. Four, leave space on the board for recording student thinking. Number five, arrange physical space for optimal learning experience. So we're curious, which ones resonate most with you? What would you add to our list? Thank you for joining us in this video. If anyone hasn't told you yet today, thank you for everything you're doing for our kids. You are appreciated. Take care.